All right, let's get it going. Let's hop right into it. This is my first ride on my 22 MV AGUSTA Brutale 800RR. And yeah, I had to pray because I didn't have any registration lined up. I'm still working that out from the dealership that I bought. You can see I'm struggling right now. For me, I'm coming off a big bike, which is the ZX14R, the Kawasaki in it. The pedals are different, the levers, everything. So this is totally different in a strange universe. I'm also real nervous. I can't find the the pegs the way I usually, like to do stuff. But we're gonna get it going. My wife is on the side. She's leading me. I probably wouldn't even be riding, today if it wasn't for her. She just said to do it. But I'm a make sure everything's on the up and up and legal. But here we go. Again, I'm extremely nervous because this is new. It's expensive as hell, and I don't want to drop it or break it. But I'm going over the first speed bumps, and I'm like, okay, this is kind of cool. Still looking down because I'm trying to figure out where the hell are these pedals and these pegs at, and they're pushed back, which I'm not used to. They're also really short, so I'm trying to figure this out. But yeah, this is northern New Mexico. I just moved here not too long ago, and I'm exploring the areas out here. Espanol is nothing to really write a home about, but once you get out of town, it's beautiful. So it's my first takeoff right now, and I'm like, oh shit! As I'm doing that, I'm still struggling to find the shift pedal. I'm testing out the agility, and I'm really liking that. In my head, I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, oh, this is way light compared to my 14, which is 500 something pounds. The other thing I'm gonna note too, and I'll probably say it a couple times, is her bike is hella loud. It's extremely loud. I noticed that now on this bike, which the motor's loud, yes, but she drowned me out completely during this whole ride, and you can hear it there. It pretty much stayed like this. So I was always hearing her over myself. But yeah, we got going, and I'm starting to get just a little bit comfortable as I get out of the main streets, and we're headed towards the other mountains and valleys out here. So yeah, we just heading down and figuring stuff out. But yeah, this has been a long process. I was dealing with the dealership. A couple things went kind of awry, and, kind of ticked me off. But we got the bike now. It's been about 3 months, or almost 4, damn near. And yeah, so finally getting to explore it. The whole time I was doing this ride, I was like, I hope I don't get messed with by any police officers or anything. And there's so many different agencies out here. You got Indian police, you got state police, you got federal police, you have some regular city police. So there's all these different agencies and whatnot, and I'm just like, oh man, don't catch me out. I got insured. The bike is insured. I got the paperwork and the title. I know I have a grace period. Like I said, I like to keep things legal. The truck had a cool little spoiler. But cruising through these parts, I don't really like this part of town. It's just, everybody has that when they're riding. They're waiting to get out of a certain area so they can get to the fun parts. This ain't fun for me. This guy kind of ticked me off because he was trying to haul ass on the side of us. Knowing that I wanted to get over, I usually like to ride behind my wife that way, for security reasons. If you're riding with a girl, the gentleman thing to do is ride behind them, so you would take the blunt of the punishment if there happened to be any. But yeah, heading into the gas station, gotta get some gas, so there's gonna be that. The other thing I don't like so far is there's no fuel gauge on here. It's just a light that comes on to let you know. But I put on my trip meter, and I'm pretty sure it gets about 100, maybe 120 on a full tank. And look what we see right there. So you already know I was sweating at that point. I was thinking about pulling on the other side of the stall because I didn't want him to see me with no plate on there and just mess with me. But dude was pretty cool. He was actually he is law enforcement, but it's one of their force law agencies out here. So that's another law enforcement agency that they have that's, you know, different, I guess. So yeah, that was he waved, so I was just glad to get out of there, fill up and get out. So now we're back on the road. Pulling out that gas station, I was kind of nervous. I forgot that I'm on brand new tires too, so you can't really be going too hard on those either because of the film that's on the rubber. You got to burn them in. So I was literally trying to keep it chill, relatively, mainly because I'm also breaking the bike in. I'm not supposed to go over 4,000 to 6,000 RPMs, I believe. So I tried to keep it under 6, which really wasn't that bad. What's some other things I don't like so far? So as the more I started getting into this ride, and we're probably like 20, 30 minutes in already, it was the handlebars I got to get kind of used to because they have they're upright, but in my opinion, coming off the Super Sport, they're too high. So where your throttle hand, where you want to, you want it to be kind of relaxed. I'm not relaxed. I'm kind of under the bar. So when I'm pulling at the throttle, it's an awkward position and keys your wrist area. So I don't like that. I probably can manipulate that, so I'm not too worried about it. But so far, I've read several different blogs and whatnot about the Brutale, and a lot of people have complained about it's a rough ride. These roads that I'm riding on are not in the greatest shape, but I can easily say that no, it's pretty plush for a smaller bike. It's rolling around. Again, I'm coming off a big bike, which is all about. Aggressiveness, and it is not as plush as these brakes are. That was the other thing I was hearing, the brakes suck. I can say the brakes are actually pretty good. Rolling through town, still getting out of these little smaller areas. Now this is getting to the part that I like, coming into Abiquiu. Hopefully I'll be able to move here pretty soon. As soon as I visited this area, I fell in love pretty much. It's beautiful out here with the red rock, and it's just a smaller community, not a junkyard like some of these places I've been going to. Everybody's house seems like they got 1,000 cars on it. Only one works. I'm just not about that. I'm an orderly person, and that ain't gonna float my boat. So when I got out here, you got views, you got there's land, and there's nice roads to obviously ride on. So this is like one of my favorite sections when you're coming up to the Red Rock, as you can see passing up here. Definitely at this point getting somewhat comfortable. Still learning the brakes and everything. I love this section of the Red Rock, going up over the riverbed underneath, or I think that's a river, but you can't see it from here, but that's the Red Rock. And again, I'm learning that there's a left-handed turn. I think it's 35 or 40 or so, and coming up to it, I'm messing with the shift pedals, trying to find it to downshift, and going uphill, and I couldn't get it. So I might even miss the shift right there, but it's all a learning process. It's gorgeous, definitely coming up through this area, and then it just winds through the top of the hills. this is one of the places that I possibly want to, move specifically in location in Abiquiu. There's a few plots of land that are out here that are, like, in my estimation, dirt cheap. I'm originally from California, so I was like, when I seen those prices, I was like, wow. But yeah, it's by the lake and everything, and then you got like these giant, Great Plains that just, it's just amazing, mesmerizing to look at. So, believe it or not, I was trying to keep up with my wife in front, and she was kicking my ass because I can't get up there. my 6,000 RPM limit, yeah, that was a wrap for me. I tried to push it, and every time I thought about it, I was like, nope. But here it comes going into some of the main parts of Abiquiu, coming down off the hill, and then you see like these huge, massive plains, and the lake. Still has some water in it, but like everything on the west coast is kind of drying up. At some point I have to take that left there and head out, so you can see the lake on the left hand side. And just these killer, like, massive plains with buttes and stuff in the distance. It's amazing. I would love to open this bike up on these straights right here, but it's not prescribed. Even though some people don't even go by the braking method on their bikes, they just get on and just ride it, and their excuse is that when it was in the factory, it was pinged to as high as RPM, which is probably true, but that was for a certain purpose. The rest of, sealing your rings and your pistons and that, making sure everything seats correctly, I think that holds well. So I don't do it, but more than welcome to. This is another cool section. We're heading out to Echo Amphitheater, and it's a good little ride. Some nice sweeping bends and nice straights, just to get the engine settled in. I love these red rocks. It looks like a castle or something to me right there, but I love this area. There's also like Ghost Ranches, which is also coming up. We went there. Some good hiking and stuff in this area. But it's amazingly beautiful. But yeah, we were headed out to Echo Amphitheater. Again, I can't keep up with her. She's way up there. I told her, I was like, hey, if you want to just go blast off, go ahead. I was like, I'm not going over the 6,000 limit, and I just left it as such. But you can see I was still trying to figure stuff out, trying to look at the dash and make sure, I'm looking at what's on it and can I see it? Because some people complain that you can't see things. The turn signals are a little bit damp to see. You can make it out, but it's not where it should be, I would say. But overall, I thought it was actually nice. So. So my impressions of the bike, as you can see, it's freaking stunning. You can just sit there and look at it. The lines, the color, the aggressiveness, it looks just solid. So I can't wait to get to customizing and doing different things to it. But yeah, well, stay tuned and see what happens. But thank you guys for tuning in with me, and I'll see you on the next one.